Friends, welcome back to my channel. So in previous video we have seen that how to install Windows Server 2012. So in this video we are going to promote this Windows Server 2012 server as a domain controller. So let me log in into this server. The password will be local administrator password. Yeah, I have entered the password. So first thing we need to verify what is the computer name and how the IP address is configured for this server. So first thing we are going to verify the computer name. What computer name has been configured? So there is a command called host name which will help us to identify the server name. Server name is a DC01. That's fine. Now we will verify what is the IP address is configured for this server. So IP address should be configured statically. So we'll open properties. I don't want to use IP version 6. I just want to use IP version 4. Yeah, I can see that IP address is not configured. So let me configure it quickly. So I'm going to put IP address as a 192.168.1.1. This is my domain controller IP address. This is my first domain controller which I am going to promote it. 168.1.254. This is my gateway. 192.168.1.1. Because this is my primary domain controller, as well as this server is going to play as a DNS server in this environment. So that's why I'm going to enter this IP address as a preferred DNS server as well. Okay, click on OK, OK, close, close. Now just start installing Active Directory domain services roles. How we can install? We need to open a server manager console, and from top right side corner there is a tool button. Click on tool button, or you can just click on add roles and features from server manager console. But before that, I can see here that there is a cross mark on my NIC card. So let me fix it quickly. Restart net adapter name Ethernet. So once execute this command, this will fix my NIC card issue. Okay, no worries. Meanwhile, it will get fixed. So let me start the roles installation. So click on the add roles and features. Click on next. Role based features based installation on this DC01. Good. Click on next. Here you need to select Active Directory domain services feature, and that includes all these additional features will get installed. And also I want to promote this server as a DNS server as well. That's why I'm going to select this DNS server as well. Click on next, click on next, click on next, click on next, click on install. So this is a simple roles installation, and lots of information which is related to that roles. You can read it and you can click on next button. Okay, so no need to read everything at this moment. Okay, so if you want to promote in your lab, yes, you can read whole information, whatever details are shown in your lab. Just read it and complete the installation. Okay, so let it finish. Once this has been installed successfully, we will receive a notification to promote this server as a domain controller. We'll do that. Installation started on DC01. All these roles which are displayed here are getting installed, and here they have mentioned you can close this wizard without interrupting running tasks. Okay, so we can see configuration required and installation succeeded on this DC01. It seems installation has been completed. Click on close. Here is a notification it is asking us to promote this server to a domain controller. Click on here. So it will prompt us to configure the domain name. So here we are going to promote this server, this for first domain controller in our infrastructure or in our environment. So that's why I'm going to select this add a new forest. This first option is to add a additional domain controller into a existing domain. Second option is for adding a new domain into a existing forest, but here we are going to create a new forest. That's why I selected third option, and we need to enter a test lab.com, our forest name. This will be our domain name, and this will be our forest as well. Okay, so click on next. So it will start configuration. So let it finish first. After this window, we need to configure some additional properties that I will explain you. There will be a forest functional, domain functional level, as well as what capabilities should have this domain controller, that also we need to select. Okay, here I can see forest functional level Windows Server 2012 is there. Domain functional level is also to Windows Server 2012, because we are promoting Windows Server 2012 first domain controller in our domain. That's why it is selecting by default Windows Server 2012. So by default these two options are getting selected: domain name system, and global catalog. Because this is our first domain controller, that's why these two options by default selected. And here third option is for read only domain controller. And then type the DSRM password. DSRM password is required when you want to restore a Active Directory database. That time, in that case you would require a DSRM password. Okay, so I entered password and confirm password. Click on next. Here you just need to click on next. So NetBIOS name will be displayed here. NetBIOS name will be test lab only. Yeah, test lab it is displaying here. Click on next. So now again it is going to, yeah, here we can see that specify the location for ADDS database, log files, and sysvol folder. So this is the path for these three folders. You can change the path now or later on also, but the recommendation is to change the path at the time of domain controller promotion only. Okay, I'm going to keep the path default C Windows entities and C Windows sysvol, database folder, log files folder, and sysvol folder. Click on next. Here is a summary what we have selected and what is going to be configured. Click on next. So it will take few minutes to complete the prerequisites checks. After that, we need to click on install to configure new domain. So let it finish. Once the prerequisites check completes, we can install it. And after installation completion, the server will get rebooted. Yeah, all prerequisite checks are passed successfully, so no need to worry about that. Just click on install. It seems that the domain controller is successfully configured. Now it is asking us to sign off to reboot this server. I will click on close, close. it will reboot automatically. Yeah, it is rebooting now. This is a simple. Now our server is ready to log in. Let me log in to the our domain controller. Here you can see that test lab slash administrator. That means our domain is successfully promoted and we are able to log in by using our domain admin account. Yeah. So how can we verify that if the domain controller is successfully promoted or not? So post checks should be there. For an example, we can verify that by clicking on the tools button on the server manager console. Here you will be able to find some few additional tools will be available like Active Directory Administrative Center, Active Directory Domains and Trusts, Active Directory module for Windows PowerShell, Active Directory Sites and Services, Active Directory Users and Computers. Just click on Active Directory Users and Computers. Here you will be able to see that Active Directory Users and Computers wizard. Here you can find that testlab.com. This is the domain we have configured, and there are few organizational units will be created by default that we are going to discuss in next videos. What is built-in OU, what is users OU, what is computers, this is a default container, what is a domain controllers OU, that we are going to discuss in next videos. This is the way we can verify if the domain controller is successfully promoted or not. And there is one more way we can verify by using a net share command, which will show us the shared folder netlogon and syswall. If these folders are available as a shared folder, then we can be sure that this domain controller is promoted successfully. See, netlogon and syswall, both the folders are share folders are available on this server.